Welcome to the Daily Gospel of John. Glad you're watching. We're going to take a brief look at verse 9 in John 17. Jesus speaking. I pray for them. I am not praying for the world, but for those you have given me, for they are yours. Pretty clear. Jesus not praying for the unbelieving world system that actually has its fists raised toward him, toward God. Jesus is praying for those whom the Father has given him out of that world system. This makes sense. Why would Jesus waste his time praying for those who ultimately will reject him anyway? Jesus knows those who are his, and he knows those who will be his. We read in John 10, when we were there, in the passage where Jesus is saying he's the good shepherd. He says this, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheep pen. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there shall be one flock and one shepherd. Jesus referred to those who had not even yet heard him or heard of him as his sheep, his lost ones who were yet to be found. But when they would hear his voice, he knew that they would follow him because he already knew who they were. And so in John 17, he begins and he's interceding for those whom the Father has already given him, those who have already followed him. He's praying on their behalf, not for the rebel world. Later in John 17, we'll see in the next few days that he prays for those who will believe in him through the message of the gospel that the disciples will bring. That would be you and me. Interesting, in 2 Timothy chapter 2, Paul says this, Therefore I endure everything for the sake of the elect, that they too may obtain the salvation that is in Christ Jesus with eternal glory. He said, I endure everything for the sake of, not all mankind, for the sake of the elect. Much of mankind consists of enemies of our God. Many have their fist up and will have their fist up until the judgment day. And Paul is not enduring everything for their sake. He endured what he endured for the sake of his brothers and sisters, those found already and those not yet found. I endure everything for the sake of the elect. Jesus prayed for those whom the Father had given him, those who came already, those who would come.